Hey there, it's Jordan with Status Coup. Happy Friday. I hope everybody's having a lovely day. It is Friday, December 17th, 2021. It is our Rokfin exclusive day where we broadcast exclusively on Rokfin. So this is the short live stream leading up to that where we tease what's coming up on our Rokfin show at 4 o'clock Eastern. I will wait just another minute or two for more people to trickle in because as you know, YouTube seems to like to delay alerting people when we're live. If they notify people we're live at all, people don't get notifications when we're live, or they don't see our live stream. I've even had moderators to our YouTube channel who are moderators tell me that they didn't see that we were live. So just waiting. I'll wait a couple more seconds for more people to trickle into this. I hope everyone had a good week. I hope everyone has some nice holiday plans. Obviously, Christmas is coming up. If you're Jewish, Hanukkah already passed. I am hoping to take some time off in the next week or two because I'm a little burnt out from the day-to-day grind of doing the live streams. I'm working on an investigative story behind the scenes, which has been taking up a lot of my time. And we're doing a lot of business type stuff, behind the scenes business stuff. But anyway, I digress. Smash the like button so more people will see this short teaser live stream. Today, coming up in just about 15 minutes, we will be on our Rokfin channel. So you have to be a Status Coup Rokfin premium member to watch this live stream. You could sign up at rokfin.com/Status Coup. That is rokfin.com/Status Coup. When you sign up to be a Rokfin premium member, you not only get access to our Rokfin premium content, but other hosts' Rokfin premium content. Other hosts have premium Rokfin channels like Graham Elwood, Lee Camp, Romp Lacone. Some others have Rokfin channels. So definitely, if it's within your means, sign up at rokfin.com/Status Coup. It is $9.99 a month to get access to our channel as well as others. We will be having Kshama Sawant coming up at 4 o'clock Eastern for the second part of an interview I did with her. We aired the first part on the YouTube channel. So right here, you could watch it yesterday. And in part two, we get a little more specific about the squad. We get a little bit more specific about the elected progressives who might agree with us on policy, but seem to have an allergy to hard-nosed street fight politics, and who, Pramila Jayapal, Ro Khanna, some others ultimately folded and voted for the infrastructure deal without the Build Back Better plan being tied to it. So I speak with Kshama Sawant, who just defeated, actually will become official today, just defeated a right-wing recall effort to recall her from office. So she has been victorious in the recall election. Her and I spoke about that in part one of the interview. But part two, which we're airing exclusively on Rokfin, we get into why it is that AOC and other progressives who campaigned on, bringing the ruckus to the Democratic Party and, fighting the Democratic Party, why it seems like they have grown allergic, really, to doing that. And why it seems that they will not use the same tactics that somebody like Kshama Sawant will use in Seattle and has used in Seattle. For example, tapping into the activist base to fight the Democratic Party, very strongly and directly criticizing and calling out the Democratic Party rather than trying to be diplomatic. I asked her why it is they won't do that. Here's a short little portion of that interview that we're going to air in full on Rokfin.
When you do what you need to do, when you use your office to expose the Democrats for their betrayals, like if AOC were to do what I do in Seattle, which is call out Nancy Pelosi openly saying, you are betraying working people by taking the side of Wall Street, telling Sinema she is shameful for opposing even this basic modicum of justice in the shape of $15 an hour for the poorest of workers. If she were to do that, if the squad were to do that, they would immediately come under ferocious political assault from the elite in the Democratic Party establishment. And the question is, are they willing to take that on? And I don't think they are. And that's what it comes down to.
So the full interview with Kshama Sawant will air coming up at 4 o'clock Eastern on Rokfin. Really looking forward to that. She is honestly, I'm a journalist, but I will not lie. I definitely admire Kshama Sawant, who I think at the local level is one of the few politicians that walks the walk, doesn't just talk, but walks the walk, and is widely available to her constituents, is always on the front lines fighting for the working class in Seattle. She fought against tear gas being used by the police during George Floyd protests. She fought against and for an eviction moratorium that the Democrats in Seattle were basically opposed to because they're in the wallet of the real estate developers in Seattle. And she has loudly and proudly fought against the Democratic Party and its corruption as a socialist. She's a member of the Socialist Alternative, and she continues to win and just defeated the recall election. So look forward to airing that coming up at 4 o'clock Eastern. Also, I'll be interviewing Michael Lighty. Michael Lighty, he's a fellow with the Sanders Institute. He's actually one of the top experts in the country on Medicare. He's been one of the leading champions of Medicare for All before it became the term. Like we're talking years, like a decade ago when it was just single payer. So I interviewed Michael in depth about the Trump administration had pushed policies to try and further privatize Medicare. And guess what? The Biden administration is continuing those policies. So not only is the Biden administration continuing the unbelievable, unspeakable, corrupt, inhumane, fascist, in my view, prosecution of Julian Assange, but cherry on top, they're also trying to continue the Trump administration push to privatize Medicare. So not only did Biden say, as a candidate, if Medicare for All came to my desk, if it passed Congress, I would veto it. Not only did he run on a public option, but as president has completely abandoned that and moonwalked away from it, like he's moonwalked away from a $15 minimum wage and many other things. But now his administration is continuing the Trump administration's push to basically further privatize Medicare, which you have to wonder. How do these, when they lose in 2022, the Democrats, and as it looks now in 2024, how do they keep a straight face blaming progressives when they are literally moving further and further to the right, Biden and the Democrats? So Michael Lighty, one of the top experts on this, we'll get into the details of that. We also talk about the fight for Medicare for all. And obviously it's kind of at the national level right now, dead. We don't have elected progressives fighting for it. We don't really have them leveraging their votes or putting any red lines down where they refuse to cooperate on other policies unless they get at least a floor vote for Medicare for All, which was obviously the battle for force to vote earlier this year. So I talked to him about, okay, if it's not happening on the federal level, what can we do at the local level, on a state level, to make that happen? So I look forward to airing that interview. Here's a short teaser of the part of us talking about Medicare for All and how we could make it happen on the state level. I don't want to be Debbie Downer, but California had, Democratic control, and, it passed the Senate, but then the California House killed single payer. The New York Health Act has kind of been in motion for a while. There's talk of it maybe passing next year, but we know that the same corrupt folks who killed it in California, that same ideology is very strong in New York. How does it pass on a local level when even in blue states like California, I mean super blue in California, they found a reason to kill it?
Well, I think the difference is, for the first time in California, we had someone who ran on and supported single payer and was elected. We haven't forced him to keep his promise yet. And that's Gavin Newsom. Right, Gavin Newsom. He's up for re-election in 22. So we have to force him to keep his promise to do single payer. We have to hold him accountable. Otherwise, why would anyone, do it if we can't keep accountable the guy who ran on it. So that's the difference that you have. You don't have that executive leadership in New York. We've never had it in California. Governors have vetoed single payer. Governor Brown was behind the killing of the last single payer bill that passed the Senate, state Senate. And so governor leadership makes a huge difference. Same theory of the case federally, right? We knew that once President Biden was the nominee, it was going to be very difficult, if not impossible, to move it, because you've got to overcome all this. And we knew that President Sanders would be the way that you could have a shot at it federally. Similarly, at the governor level in California. So that's our task. That's our political project, and that's the difference.
So again, that's Michael Lighty. He's a fellow with the Sanders Institute, and I go to him. He's one of the top experts on Medicare, on healthcare, and the fight for Medicare for all. So we'll be airing that interview in full coming up on the Rokfin stream. Once again, we really, really, really hope, if it's within your means, that you could sign up for our Rokfin premium channel. You could sign up at rokfin.com/statuscoup. If you're not familiar, we started going live on Rokfin exclusively once a week several months ago. And we do it for a few reasons. Number one, Rokfin, unlike this platform, does not censor and does not demonetize us, does not take videos down, which we've had YouTube take down a lot of our videos, including the historic live stream where John Farina, who was a freelancer for us, got that amazing footage on January 6th from the Capitol, risked his life, really. He had some nearly cracked ribs to speak for it. He got that amazing footage of the officer whose head was rammed into the door by the Trump mob. YouTube took that down, and many other videos of ours covering the Trump and his election fraud lies and nonsense, claiming we were advancing election fraud, which we weren't. We've said all along, Biden won the election, Trump was lying, blah, 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 blah. But Rokfin doesn't do that. We're able to cover a whole range of topics without censorship. We've covered JFK's assassination at length on Rokfin. We've covered 9/11 on Rokfin. We have covered the Bush crime family, which, boy, if you haven't seen that stream, go watch that stream we did on the Bush family and the money that goes all the way back to Prescott Bush supporting the Nazis back in the 1930s and 40s. So definitely check that stream out if you didn't see it. But we're able to cover things at length on Rokfin that we would never be able to cover on YouTube. And also Rokfin, we get a guarantee from Rokfin for broadcasting there. So that's one of the perks of going live on Rokfin, where we earn guaranteed revenue for broadcasting once a week there. And as you know, we need it. We are being suppressed on YouTube. Our revenue has gone down dramatically on YouTube because, frankly, YouTube is not prominently featuring our channel. We're not recommended in people's feeds. For our existing subscribers, they're often not notified. So Rokfin has been a great opportunity for us, not only to cover things we can't cover elsewhere, but also earn some extra revenue. So definitely, if you can, only if you can, sign up, rokfin.com/statuscoup. Again, we will have Kshama Sawant and the second part of our interview coming up, where we talk directly about why progressives are frankly choosing not to fight the way they said they were going to fight, the progressives in Congress. And I speak with Michael Lighty on the Biden administration's push to privatize or further privatize Medicare. So exciting stream coming up, rokfin.com/statuscoup. We're headed over there in just a few minutes. I will see you there. Hopefully sign up, rokfin.com/statuscoup.